feel like I'm sat weird.
It's stuck in my head now. How we doing, gang? Are we all right? Welcome to another edition of the Torum Academy live A&R feedback sessions. Caught me out there going live.
Pete was having a little sing-song.
I was having a little sing-song and a tune stuck in my head. Bailey's working on something and it's sounding really good. Very, very hooky. Anyway, we are here, guys, to listen to your demos this week. And this week, I'm being joined by Mr. Matt Smallwood, head of A&R here at Torum Records. This guy knows his onions. And for those of you that would have joined us around about a month ago, I think you was in with us on
first one, wasn't it?
The very first session when we kicked off. Brilliant fun, wasn't it?
Really good. Yeah, it's been really good.
He signed something on the spot.
I did actually, yeah.
First time signed a record on the spot as well, yeah. So never know.
Good record it was as well.
It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So guys, we've been doing these every single week, Wednesdays 3 p.m. UK time, streaming live to you guys through the Torum Academy YouTube channel right here, listening to your demos. Okay, so if you follow Torum Academy socials, you'll see on Instagram we put the call out requesting your demos. I'm doing a lot of pointing today.
You're very pointy today.
Really pointing.
I was going to point that out.
So your demos come through the Torum Records label radar page. That's where we receive all of our demos for the label. Quite a lot as well, isn't it, that come through each week?
Yeah.
And we will pick some at random for these live A&R feedback sessions every single week, okay? They are picked at random. I don't have a hand in that. I've just got a selection here, which I'm going to then pick from random as well to play now on the session, all right? So thanks for everyone who's tuned in. I think we've got some regulars as well. Just check out the chat. How are we doing? Who's here? Ollie, how are you? Ollie Hodges. More. My master was too large to submit. What's that then? What, did you have like a 48-bit WAV?
Yeah, like, maybe. That might be what it is. Yeah.
Just 320 MP3, you know, six minute arrangement sort of thing. Give it another go. More for next week, all right? Dana, how you doing? Seb Loco's back in. Bessie, Danny Marks, Mr. French, how are you? James, how are you? Cookson, oh, this is great. Grens, Loz is in. Oi, oi, Foley. Wicked, love this. Philip Esser, how are you? Skeleton Keys here for the first time. Welcome, welcome. Lovely to have you on board. You will see what this madness is all about once we get started. Basically, I'm going to share my screen. We're going to play your tracks. I'm using Ableton to play through them. I might skip a little bit just so we can get through a few more, okay? And then myself and Matt will give you some feedback based on our experience, kind of things we look out for here at Torum Records and the Torum Academy, all right? So shall we do it?
Let's go. Let's dive in.
Shall we get stuck in? Right, let me just load the first one here out of my little folder of tricks. Okay, the first one I'm picking is by a great artist name, love this, McMag.
Oh, nice.
That's a good play on words there. Nice. McMag, and this track is called Zulu. So shall we do it?
Let's dive in, Peter.
Let's dive in and do this. Let's rock. McMag, what a
McMag
great
in the building.
start. I love that.
Nice.
Zulu
Wicked
by
groove on that.
name, Zulu by nature. That was proper.
Loving the groove on that.
Yeah.
Solid.
Really groovy. You got that sort of tribal vibe going on a little bit, but the actual whole bass line.
Really nice energy to that. Really playable.
Nice.
Imagine playing that in the set and having a lot of fun mixing that, bringing it in, bringing that bass line in.
Makes you
nice
want to dance.
energy.
As soon as you hear that bass line, you wanted to move, you wanted to dance.
Yeah, super playable that.
Yeah.
Very kind of
very well produced.
Unique as well. It's got a real sort of theme to it, the whole tribal Zulu thing.
Yeah.
So it's got a real sort of identity.
It is.
Which is important.
Really strong identity. And it's all about that one central breakdown as well. This is really good. I've got to say, really, really solid start. I think, look, if we're here to give feedback, probably going to nitpick a little bit, but there's a few things that I was unsure about, which partly taste-wise, really nothing wrong with them, but I felt having that single vocal cut as your sort of main, that's the main hook for the groove. I think you could do something a bit stronger than that, and I think it's down to just the very simple rhythm of it.
And the fact that it's quite dry as well, there's no delay. You could even put a little delay on it or something.
Yeah, especially on the third one, and just get more creative with it. There could be maybe a drum fill that works with it. Just push it a bit more, I think. It felt like if you're doing a build-up and then coming back to the groove, and it's just that one thin vocal.
Is that enough? Are you gonna?
I'm not sure if that's enough. And then when the other vocal comes in, like you've sampled the vocal, put it on a sampler, put it on a keyboard, and played a really like synthy riff with it. That's really big and powerful. But then you've still got the vocal chop one behind that. And then we go into the break, and the vocal chop one's still going to sort of take us into the break. So I think it's a bit of an overkill with the single chop one.
Yeah.
I quite like what you're doing to go into that break with the dad. It reminded me of who was it? Julio Bashmore.
Julio
Bashmore, yeah.
It's the hammer, that tune.
Yeah, definitely.
What a tune that was.
But I think the way he does that, he really builds that with
reverb,
reverb,
get, like, reverb and
delay,
stuff, and creates a bit of tension, whereas that's a lot drier in there, I think.
Totally.
Just get a bit more creative with that.
Exactly. You're using it to build up, take us into the break, to that big gap of silence, and then that full-on vocal. So really build it with some effects, reverb and stuff.
I'd just agree with you. I'd play on the tribal Zulu thing a bit more and get some more kind of real
drum
kind of
fills, maybe even a percussion
and stuff. Yeah,
a percussion
just bouncing off of that little stab.
Yeah,
you could easily build that up and make that more of a thing.
It could be sort of vocal and then a percussion hook.
Get like a little question and answer thing going on. Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Solid though. Love the
really
creative.
Really good energy. When it came into the break and you go so full on with the vocal, it reminded us a little bit of Greatest Showman.
He said Greatest Showman.
I think it's a compliment, if I'm honest. You know, it's very cinematic, film-like, and that's very powerful, epic. But I think you could probably make the whole build section more obvious as to what is the idea, what's the gimmick, what's the identity. Because we had the vocal like repeats, then you hold one, then right at the end you do. I think you could sort of choose one of those ideas. It could be that that you've done at the start of the break, and it could be that classic. I know a lot of people are overusing that technique and they speed it up. There's something that.
Yeah, something interesting.
I feel like you're squeezing a few different things into that build. Whereas I think if it was one longer idea, it would be more. It would translate better on the dance floor. People would just get it. It's a lot simpler and easier. That's it, really.
Yeah.
Honestly,
few little bits.
This is like top level stuff. This is nitpicking at your arrangement and bits and bobs you can do, because that was really good. Really, really strong.
Really solid. That.
Really solid.
Nice
What's everyone saying on the chat? Everyone feeling it? Brazil vibes. Yeah, everyone's feeling the.
Yeah, definitely play on that tribal vibe a bit more and get some more.
Yeah, see, other people like Seb was saying, you could have a flute or something. Yeah, that's what I mean, like another
something
where it's percussive or thematic. It's really cool. Yes, Seb. So tunes that you send in specifically, if they don't get picked for this live A&R, all records that come into us through Label Radar get listened to. Believe it or not, they all do. We have a big music team here, and they try and get through all demos to listen to them. Okay, they can't send feedback to everyone, but everything's listened to. All right. Carol, great to have you join us. So you can send your demo, follow Torum Academy on Instagram, and we put out the call for that with a link of where you can go straight to the Toolroom page on Label Radar, or just go to the Label Radar website, search up Toolroom, and you will find where you can submit demos to us there. Okay, right. Let's get another one from the Magic Pot, shall we?
Get one out of the bag, Peter. What's up next?
What is up next? I am going to go for...
What are we saying?
Alan Freeman. I've gone to the beginning of the alphabet here. Moving it around. Alan Freeman with a track called Move Your Body. Good classic house track title that. Right, let's do this, Alan.
Come on, Alan, let's go.
Move my body back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body. Move my body. Move my body back and forth. 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 Move my body. Back and forth. Move my body 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 back and forth. Move my body. Move my and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body. My body back and forth. Move my body back and forth. Move my body back. Move my body.
Alan
Freeman.
What a cheeky little number
you
that
cheeky
is.
little monkey, you.
Real cheeky. Really feeling this idea. This is really clever. Really, really clever. I don't know if there ever has been a sax played in the melody of Pijanu, and that was out there and you got that as a sample, whether you've had that played following
Or
that
whether he's
classic
played it
piano
himself,
riff, or
maybe.
played it yourself. I don't know, but I really kind of like the idea. The groove is very cool. It's very now.
Yeah, very bumpy, very cool,
bumpy,
stripped back.
very deep tech, very
Yeah.
current. It's cool. I had the flick of the wrist coming out there.
You did as well.
I
saw
did.
it. Whoa,
I'm
here
trying
it
to
goes.
keep incredibly still because I've got a lot of technology and wires here.
And a very hot
But the top
computer
half
in your
of me
lap.
was like, yeah, I'm vibing.
Yeah, no,
I'm
it's good.
vibing. It was really cool. I'll tell you what it was though, is I'm 50-50 on using the original piano.
Yeah.
The original piano is like, it's so epic and
You
so
got-
anthemic, and it was like, sometimes, now this is personal taste thing. Some records become so much of an anthem, it's like so commercialized and so overplayed. You can't take anything away from that record. It's amazing, but I don't know if that vibe of that record works in a deep tech minimal groove.
I think you've got to go either way with that. You either go bootleg, use the piano, or you just go a bit clever and have the sax. And
Yeah,
That
totally.
sounds like so and so. I don't know that they work together. It feels like it's two
I
different.
don't. I think there's something tuning going on
Yeah,
somewhere.
some tuning issues. I
With
don't
the
know if
sax,
it's the,
but
the
the
sax and
idea,
the vocal, I think.
it might be, yeah. There's a little note of the sax.
But that
which
little,
might be
the
a
little drop when we both looked at each other and was like, oh yeah,
when it dropped with the
That'd
sax,
really work
that's
on
clever.
a
I
dance
don't
floor,
think
yeah.
you need to tell the listener this is Pijanu with the
piano.
piano.
Just sax it up, baby.
I just think sax it up. Just keep
Yeah.
it really, really cool. And it's a version that's being cheeky and nodding to that. No doubt, you get that right and you drop it in the right gig and the
The right
original
time,
piano
yeah.
comes in, it will go off. It's a bootleg sort of thing. But I honestly think you'll get more kudos, and it's a little bit more creative and original and cool, dare I say,
Yeah,
without
agreed.
the piano. But it's what we both said when we were listening to it.
Yeah,
we were both just like, just do the sax, the melody. Everyone knows.
Everyone will recognise it anyway. Yeah.
And then the other thing is, just think about your arrangement a little bit. The vocal just seemed to be a little bit. I wasn't being told really, like, as a listener, I really want to be put in my place. Like, this is where the vocal is, this is when it isn't, and this is when the sax is. This is when they work together and so on. Just felt like the vocal was in quite a lot when I was flicking through in the middle there.
Yeah.
But
so a few little bits to look at, but a very clever, quirky, fun little idea.
I like the idea of that, Alan. I think the groove, the drums and the bass line were wicked.
Really good. Yeah, wicked groove. Liked it.
Nice work. Look, it's up to you, man. You might totally stick to that and go, no, piano staying in. That's my vision.
Is Alan present?
Sweet.
Is he
do that if you want, but look into some tuning stuff and look at the arrangement a little bit.
Maybe
Alan
can tell us if he played it or if he found it as a sample. Or
yes, that's what we got here. A few people think it's like there's a couple of tracks going on. All right, Trish, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Trish. Yeah. People have got the same sort of views, man. So maybe that is the consensus here,
Alan.
Little
bits to look at, but wicked, fun little quirky idea.
Yeah, definitely.
Wicked for a DJ set, little bootleg vibes.
Feeling this. This is good, guys. I'm liking this.
Where are we going next, Peter?
Where are we going next? We are going to a track next called Fresh by Dayon. If you're watching, Dayon.
You're on.
You're on. Let's do it.
Something about the song and the way it vibe, the way it ride through me. It's something about house music anyway. Hey.
And rock to the rhythm, man.
Let's get together. Yeah, something about the song and the way it vibe, the way it ride through me. It's something about house music anyway. Hey.
And rock to the rhythm, man.
Let's get together.
You know house music, but before house music, there was disco. And with disco, we had heroes like Larry Levan, heroes like Frankie Knuckles. House music is a way of life. We're all in this groove together, in this spiritual vibe of house music. House music is a celebration of life.
Burning down the space with funky soul vibe. Ain't no other space when you're part of this tribe. High flyer, your desire, like a fire.
Wow, Dayon.
Dayon.
That has got has got so many different things going on. That
Yeah.
flavour wise, I was like, wow.
Just kept introducing more and more.
More and more and more. The overall vibe of this record was really nice. When the groove was playing, we were
Yeah,
like,
the
okay,
groove
we're
was
in that
wicked.
deep minimal space again, but just that little bit more underground, that little
Yeah.
bit cool,
Bit bumpy.
bit bumpy. And we really like the sort of.
The what? I love it when Pete sings.
I have to
sounds.
sing things rather than explain them sometimes. I'm actually getting slightly better at singing.
Well, there
The
you go.
academy has forced me where I'm constantly trying to interpret it and sing things to students. I can almost hold a tune. Almost. Bailey's just like, nah,
No, you
definitely
can't,
not.
Pete.
I've heard
Sounds-
those feedback videos.
Sounds
You
better
cannot hold a
inside your
tune.
head.
Dean can. Dean can. to
Dean
be
can
fair
sing.
to him.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
It's-
That's really nice. And then we went into the first break. The first break just kept on hanging a bit long, like 8
And then that
bars,
vocal
and then the
didn't come in
vocal
until
came
the
in,
end. Yeah.
and it was nice. Like I'd get to that point a bit quicker. So we had that story. Then when we dropped the first drop, you've really tried really hard to do loads of like question and answer stuff. It's very clever. It's a lot of this sound is about like bam, ba-doo-ba-da, hey, all these different sounds. I felt like there was too many different sounds from too many different places.
Too much information to take
It was
in.
too much information, and you did it for 8 bars,
It was so
and
short
then just
as well.
stopped.
Yeah.
Then just stopped. Then went to a minimal bit of the groove, and then to this break. So the break is where the real talk is here for some A&R feedback. You've got some awesome ideas here, Dayon.
I love that little art bit that come in.
Oh,
When that filters up, it was like, oh, what's this?
yeah,
riff
what was
coming
that?
in?
That was the third
Yeah.
sound. This is what we mean, right?
And then the first riff from the first break doesn't even come back. And then it
Yeah.
goes into a sax.
there
and
was
then
there
it's-
was some Rhodes, then this other little keys, and then they went,
Yeah.
and then we got this ARP, then the vocal changed to 2 different parts of the vocal, then the Rhodes keys came back at the very end of the break,
And
I
then you-
think, but
and then
not
you-
the other stab riff.
Yeah.
So there's just too many ideas in here, mate.
Yeah.
Honestly,
just
you could
dial
strip
it
this
in,
back. You could
simplify it.
like really listen to some of your favourite records, break them down, and see how simple they're. Great, amazing ideas, but how simple they are.
Yeah. I think the risky run of something like that is you'll come off the back of that, and because there's so much to take in, you won't actually take any of it in. You won't, because there's no real hook there. It's all just different ideas. So rather than it sticking in someone's head, you'll come away and you'll be like, oh, because you're trying to keep up with it all the
Totally.
way along, thinking, oh, is
That's
this
what
the...
you said when it dropped. You
Yeah.
said, I can't now really tell you or
What the last
remember
part
what was the
was,
main
yeah.
point of
Because your
that
brain's
break.
constantly evolving, thinking, oh, right, this is the thing. Oh, no, this is the thing. So you
Yeah.
forgot the last thing because you got a new thing, and it's like, ah. So but the groove and the
groove's
actual idea
wicked.
of the drums
You
and
could
stuff is
literally
really
gone
cool.
into that break, gone into that vocal, told a story with just that art.
Yeah, just that filtering up and
That
down,
art,
bit of a delay
a bit
and
like
stuff on
Frankie
it.
Knuckles' Your Love, a
Yeah.
little bit, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then that could build,
Just build on that, yeah.
reverb, delay, thin
Just-
out, and then just drop
You've
it and
probably got-
hold a bit of the vocal.
You've probably got 3 good ideas for 3 separate tracks in there, to be honest, that you can just save as a separate Ableton project and then build it backwards from the core
Definitely,
idea.
definitely, really nice down. And arrangement wise, that break is very, very long.
Very long,
And then
yeah.
we're dropping and we're out the record in 16 bars. So look at your favourite record that's a very similar vibe and just copy the arrangement. Bring it into your work page, bring it into your door and just go, right, put some markers. Where have they gone to
And
the
just
break?
tend
Where
to-
have they done that?
Always recommend people when we're doing the academy stuff to use a track that you've played in a DJ set that you know works in terms of when it breaks down, when it builds up, when it
Yeah.
drops again, and just use that as a template, and then you know it's going to work. you know?
100%. Nice.
But yeah,
Nice
some
vibes,
nice
though,
ideas
man.
in there,
Really
but-
nice vibes. Yeah, Nate's in. How you doing, Nate? We're saying Tim Green vibes.
Oh, nice.
Got a bit of that,
yes.
hasn't it? Got
What
a
a
bit of
legend
that.
Tim is.
Sal or Soal. I always wonder if I'm pronouncing names right. How are you, Sal? Hope you're good. Skeleton Keys knows what I'm saying. Tune that goes bucka 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 bucka.
Ah, that one.
It's a good way of. That's a really good way of writing that sound that I was doing.
Let me see.
See.
Ah, bucka bucka. Yes.
Bucka,
nice.
bucka, 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 bang. As soon as I read that, I hear that. I'm on the same page as you, mate. I'm on the same page as you. Love it, love it. What's going on at the label, mate? At the moment,
Oh,
what's new?
it's all killer, no filler.
Can we have
Pete,
some-
you know?
can we have
That's how we
some-
roll?
Can we have some exclusive
Oh, I don't
news
know
of
if
what
I've
you
got-
might have just
I
signed?
don't know if I've got any exclusive. news,
Ah,
to be
come
fair.
on. He
No, we've
keeps
got
things
loads-
so tight to his chest. Like even the tunes that we sign and we release on the label, he won't put them on the actual Toolroom server till really close to the release date.
Yeah.
You keep it very tight.
Upload day.
Yeah, people like Bailey sifting through trying to find promos.
Got a set this weekend. You're like, well, keep that on me.
You keep it close to your chest.
No, I don't. Don't tell fibs. We've got loads of stuff coming up this summer. We've got Mark and James Herr have done a remake of Lady, which we've managed to clear, which is going to be coming out mid-August, which is a biggie. So that should be good.
Massive.
I've got a wicked Salado remix on something as well. I can't say too much about that yet, but that's
something
coming.
linked to Toolroom 20.
Yes, we're doing a few kind of remakes and classics and stuff for part of the 20th birthday celebrations, and getting some some kind of A-grade kind of remakes and stuff, which is really cool. So we've got a new Tina Gessler single that's really cool as well, that I just picked up a couple of weeks back, dropping in September.
Wicked.
So yeah,
She's really cool, man.
She's flying at me to do some really cool stuff. So yeah, loads of bangers on the way, Peter.
Love it. Nice. So you hear it here first, see? Not just A&R, this is where you get all the goss as well, guys.
Behind the scenes info.
Right, I have got another tune here. You guys have got really cool names. Riverside Wayne. Nice. Riverside Wayne, Lonely Nights. So I'm wondering, Wayne, are you into fishing?
Or does he live near a river?
You never know. Might live on a barge.
He might live on a barge.
You never know. There's nothing wrong with that. I've always like when I walk past them sometimes in Kent, we've got a lot of rivers and barges. I just think that looks really peaceful.
Rosie and Jim vibes.
Yeah, it's really peaceful. You can just escape from the
age now.
Yeah, like, what's that? What is that all about?
Anyway,
Bailey's totally silent.
It's just like moving swiftly on.
Love it. Right, Riverside Wayne with Lonely Nights.
Know if he lives on the barge.
Yeah, Wayne, if you're in. Give us a hint on this name. Where's this come from, all right? Yes, yes.
Good.
Loving that. Riverside Wayne.
That's really cool.
Gone in with the big vocal anthemic. I love a bit of an organ as well. M1 pianos. Get out the old 90s organ.
You do, Peter.
If this really precarious electronic system wasn't on me, I'd be up shuffling
I could
away
see
to that.
the ankles were twitching. I could see
They were twitching away.
He was nearly off.
We'll have to change this carpet floor.
Get some lino down.
Get some lino down. I can just put the water on the floor and just shuffle. Third camera that just focuses on the
Shuffle
ankles.
cam.
Yes. Yes.
Love that.
That
I
could be
really
the
like
one.
that. That's really cool. That you got a
Really
real
nice.
moment with those kind of held piano notes in the breakdown of that. Vocal's awesome. We're just trying to decide where we know the vocal from.
Yeah. So I mean, look, I work at the
I was gonna say,
academy.
you must
Matt's the
hear-
A&R at Torum, so he hears tons of demos. He gets involved in the academy, and we hear a lot of stuff that comes from royalty-free sites. Which look, it's all good. And I was just like, we know the vocal. It's a really brilliant vocal. And then I was like, am I being stupid? Is this a big vocal that's something that's been released recently, and I'm just missing it?
Yeah.
And I thought you guys would probably tell us that on the chat, but no one said anything about that. A great vocal though.
Really good vocal.
Suits
Brilliant.
it. What
Really
someone said
nice
here,
little-
that got that sort of 2015 Route 94 vibe.
100%. Almost
Got a bit of that.
Get a bit of the old Vice kind of vibe as well, with that
Yeah.
real reverb kind of vocal and stuff.
Yeah,
that
some of
Deavery
his
sort
earlier
style,
stuff for the Vice City
organ stuff, big
EPs.
chunky drums.
Definitely.
Really cool.
It's really cool. Really cool.
There's a few little bits to look at.
Yeah, I mean, it works. It
Yeah.
definitely works, right? But it feels like you're doing something that at the end of the day is quite a commercial, anthemic sort of piano house, which is
Yeah.
great, right? It's still cool. It's still playing the clubs. But for me, I mean, one thing mix-wise, drums and everything, when the groove's going, drums or your tops and the percussion are really like the more forward thing. Whereas really, normally,
Want the organ
it
up
would
there.
be the organ that's a bit more bright, light sitting on top, the more musical and vocal parts, if you were going to split hairs, all right? But the other thing for me was the piano. I
yeah, you
can't
said about
remember
developing
whether...
it in the break,
What does it
didn't
do in the first break? Did it?
Just individual hits.
Yeah, so you've got that real chilled out piano chords. Dun, dun,
But then
and it creates a lovely atmosphere for the vocal. But in the second break,
You're waiting for it to go.
yeah, because the second break's long, the way you've arranged it, exactly.
Get some real kind of
That
energy
yeah,
going.
it felt like the way the piano and vocal were building naturally. I thought it was going to go and have this piano moment in the middle of the break
with the vocal over the top and stuff, like a real kind of payoff.
that then gives us that energy build to build back up to high energy of dropping with the organ.
Just with the
again.
organ, yeah.
I try it out. Try it out. You've got no harm, right? If you ever get feedback like this from someone, it's like, cool, I could just do a file, save as, leave that safe, and just experiment.
Doesn't work, but just give it a whirl.
I mean, maybe even try it in the melody of your organ, because then, dun 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 dun. Is that the organ? Because then then you'd thin it right out, and then drop to the organ, which would carry that melody.
If it's in the same pattern,
keep
yeah.
you right up there. Just an idea.
Just a little bit of arrangement kind of tweaking as well. Just that midsection when you come out of that first drop, it's like what 16 bars before
16
it goes
bars.
into the main break.
Felt a bit short.
Felt a bit short. It's kind of a bit like, oh, just got going again. It's like, oh, now we're stopping again. Just...
That felt like a radio edit. Length,
yeah,
didn't it?
but then you obviously got the longer.
Then the
outro,
break is
so-
like a whole minute.
but it is like 5 minutes long, so it's not. It's kind of in between. But
So you
yeah,
get
so
another
maybe
eight,
extend.
another
Yeah,
eight,
extend that little midsection. I would get a bit creative. Drop down, maybe drop a few elements out, loop up a vocal or something. Have a little like bridge section before you go into that main break. Keep the listeners engaged, as it were.
Spot
But
on.
really good. Loved that. It's a real
Spot
moment
on.
with those piano stabs and the vocal and the breakdown was really like a
quality.
real moment. Really good.
High quality.
Yeah, really
I
good.
like it. Yeah, got a bit of Sunny for Dara vibes. You're right,
Yeah,
gang.
big time. Did Wayne confirm?
Go into the really old school, like 90s when Mario dies. Dun, 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 dun. I can't think what the Rainbow Road
Dig
one
the old
is.
SNES out when you go.
Honestly, Nathan, Ethan, do some weird stuff like this. I walk around the office sometimes humming the theme tunes Thomas the Tank Engine.
I've heard you do that.
Yeah.
To be fair, I knew you were going to say
It's
that.
so weird, isn't it? My kids haven't watched Thomas the Tank Engine
I can
for
say Henry's like
years.
10.
Yeah, but it's still in my head.
Sign of a classic, mate.
It's really weird. Yeah, and I do it really old man
hook.
like.
Like your granddad would do.
Yeah, yeah, like your granddad would do. I think my granddad. That's probably what it is. My granddad used to come out humming like that with his pipe out the side of his mouth. Really old school. Oh man,
dear. Anyway,
love it.
We digress.
So when the Mario eats the star and is invincible, isn't that just a really fast? I
was more of a Sega boy, I'll be honest.
Oh, Mario's the one, man. Love a Mario Kart duel at home. It's wicked. Right, what have we got? Let's have a look.
Where are we going next? Petois?
It's warm in here. I know we say it every
It's literally
week.
hotter than the surface of the
It's
sun.
very
in here. For anyone
warm in
looking,
here.
hoping I get a bit of a suntan with them lamps as well.
I feel like I need a little bit of neutralising powder to get rid of the sheen.
Do the right side in a minute.
Turn the fan this way a bit more.
So, do you want me to turn this round? Or will it interfere with the microphone?
I don't know. You guys can probably hear the mics, the fans and stuff going, can't you?
But it is necessary, honestly.
Yeah, it's 100% necessary. Right. Okay, next song
Pete?
I've got is Campbell. Campbell with Body Boo. Has to be said like
Say
that.
like
as
Brian
well.
Padondi.
Body Boo. Right, let's do it. I'm a bit. This heat's
I think
making
you're
me a little bit insane today. I
You're
tell you.
delirious today, Pete.
Let's do this. Let's go. That's definitely it. Campbell with Body Boo. Absolutely love the really unique, fun,
Little
quirky vibe of that.
Stripped back banger.
Quirky,
though.
it's quirky, just like the name, isn't it? It's got. I love
Bailey
that.
quite rightly said we're getting hot natured vibes from that.
There is a bit of hot nature
Yeah.
vibes going on. That little groove, that bass line,
Quite
is
hypnotic.
very hypnotic, very
Yeah.
quirky, very hooky, fun,
Yeah,
but without being cheesy.
yeah.
I really like it. It's really different and unique. I think it's age-old feedback, actually. I'd look at arrangement. You need a little bit more production here and there. You know, get a
Certainly
few
in that-
audio effects in.
Certainly in that midsection where it drops down, and
Yeah.
the vocal's really kind of distant as well, isn't it?
Yeah, we both said that, didn't we?
Yeah.
You sort of dropped in that middle section, but it was just like, yes, yes, you don't stop. But the vocal was like
Really
right
far
over
away,
there
yeah.
for quite a long time. I mean, God knows what you'd copy arrangement-wise of that. But I'd try and follow a formula of something that's released, that's done well, that's got some quirky vibes arrangement-wise, because it's like a short edit. Again, we get a lot of these, sort of these 2-3 minute edits.
Yeah.
But that's still got to make sense, and it's still got to flow. Really, that the edits are just a club version and it's all just been squashed
And then
down,
it's
it
got
still
to keep your
sort of
attention
has
even
the
more
same-
because if
Yeah.
you're listening a shorter version, chances are you're on Spotify or Apple Music or Deezer and you're on a playlist and
Totally.
you want it quick and instant, you know.
Totally.
But
The one bit that was both us was the vocal, wasn't
the
it?
first in that first section, yeah.
The first section.
Because we both said, oh, we really want it to just drop down just to that little quirky bass line and let the groove breathe. But then the second vocal came in and then it went down to just the bass line and the groove. If you put that in between, so after the first vocal comes out, then you just groove. You groove for one section, then drop back to the next vocal. But the other vocal doesn't come back.
Exactly.
It's just in there for that 16
You've
bars,
got
and
a
it's
really
gone. And
full-on it's sort of vocoded, then does auto-tune, filters down, filters up.
Yeah.
Really, the only bit that is really hooky that you kind of remember is this. I'm addicted to you, everything in there. All of this stuff before.
More textury stuff.
And it's just going up and down.
Yeah.
I can't really make the lyrics out. To have that start when we drop, it's too much information. The hook's all about that groove.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Yes, you don't stop. Yes, you don't stop. Bring that vocal out. That's your
Yeah.
hook. Drop to just groove. And then maybe just have that I'm addicted, I'm addicted as your second hook if you want it. Really quirky,
just
though.
arrangement stuff really on that one.
Arrangement stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm unsure
Few
of the
effects.
vocoded stuff. Few effects. Work some automation a little
Bit of detail, yeah.
Check out the Toolroom Academy, the other videos we've got uploaded, okay? We've got some really good, like free on the YouTube channel, production tutorials. And from one of the Toolroom Academy tutors, there'll be something up there where they talk a little bit about breakdowns, build-ups, or just working parts. You know, how you get the most out of your samples. I think Ellis Moss has done one of those, if that's on there. And you'll see some of that, how you can just add a little bit of this sort of polish.
Sparkle.
Zhazhazhou. Vavoom.
Zhazhazhou.
I think I just made that up.
I think you
Don't
did. I
actually
like
think
it.
that's
I'm
a
going
word.
to write it down.
Well,
I'm going to use
an
it more in...
official A&R term now.
I'm going to start using it more in conversation, I think.
I think it's a play on something else. I think there's actually
Vavavoom?
Maybe it's Vavavoom, and I just changed it.
Zhazhazoom.
It's the heat. It's really cool. Original, quirky, fun. Feeling that.
Nice
What
work.
we saying on chat, guys? Do we need to re-upload every week, Evan? Yes. Yeah, if you don't get played and you want to, you know, keep trying. Keep trying every single week, all right? Thought the bass line needs to drop out, come back. Yeah, it's all about the bass line is the groove, right?
Yeah.
It's wicked, isn't it?
It's quirky. It was good.
It's really, really cool. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. Right, what am I doing? Closing that. Right. Let's keep going, shall we, guys?
What's up next, Peter?
Let's keep going.
What's in your little
right.
Tech House Tombola?
Tech House Tombola. Da, 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 da. Right, let's just load this one up. Come on, Mr. Mac. Keep up. No. Doesn't want to play it. Right, that's it.
You need a bigger chair, Pete,
I'm having a
don't you?
fight with this one song.
Ruled elbows in there, aren't you?
It's the laptop setup. Right, why is my... There we go.
There we go. We're in.
I was almost going to give up on you, Sean Bartley. Literally, I was like, for some reason, my Mac just didn't want to pull this track in. Sean Bartley, Rave in Paradise.
Nice.
Another short edit here. That's all good. We can check it out from that. Let's do it. That was it.
Nice.
2 minute, a little 2 minute ditty
Little
there.
2 minute teaser.
Wow, Sean. I mean, look, everyone knows I'm a bit of an old school raver. That definitely brought back those vibes. That was straight in. Very now, you know, there's quite a few artists that are smashing it with this sort of sound.
Pete had his white gloves and his dummy back in his mouth.
I just thought about it. Ponytail was coming back out, white
Really?
gloves,
Yeah.
everything else that goes with it. Yeah, proper rave in there. That was really cool. I like the vibe of that. I like the riff, the sound you're using.
Yeah.
They're all authentic,
Proper old school
early
rave
90s,
sounds, yeah.
proper hardcore rave sounds, which is really cool. I know we always keep saying this, but to give, you know, it's a real impact, and it can have a lot on how successful your record is, arrangement. So hearing a 2 minute version of it that was very condensed,
Yeah.
and it was very sort of
There's
constant.
no let up, was there? At all
Yeah,
in there?
we didn't really get much let up and a bit of a breakdown. I say it all the time, but honestly, if you're making club music, build your track as a club version. I know it's probably interesting for people that have grown up, you know, that are a lot younger, that are growing up into the world of Spotify and streaming, but you know, look at other tracks that you buy, that you love, that you play in your DJ sets, whether you DJ at home or even you don't. And if you just listen to this music via edits on streaming and other platforms, go and check out club versions, because you'll get a real sense of how the record works,
Yeah.
how the parts work, whether you need other parts, what sings when, because it's really, really cool. It's just like, I'd just love to hear it in a club
In a
arrangement.
proper club, yeah, format and arrangement. I think that we said about the bass line as well, didn't we? Maybe giving it a little tweak. Just sounds a bit fuzzy, doesn't it? Almost like you want to bring the cut-off down a little bit. 'Cause it's a bit kind of
The bass line's almost like, I mean, it's like you're wholeheartedly going 90s, but I think you've got such bright tone from the synths. I don't think you need that fuzz, that ever so slight fartiness for a word of your bass line.
I was trying to avoid that word.
The thing is,
I went for fuzzy.
I don't normally use that word, but D. Ramirez goes straight in when he's giving people feedback on
Farty.
one of our courses, and I'm like, it's a good way to explain it. It's
It
not
works.
meant in a derogatory term at all. It's like, it's just that extra tone and fuzz. Whereas I think if you had that, the type of whatever you're using, whether it's a synth or sound, I think would be better as a lower sub and then something else giving you the tone if you want that, or just try and find a different bass sound that gives you sub and tone, because that one just is a bit fuzzy. It's a bit in that space. So, but other than that, go and check out like Hannah Lang's stuff. She's smashing it. What's the record at the moment? She's got a couple of real
She's got one that's gone. I think it's gone top 10 now, hasn't it?
Some of the Matt Guy stuff, to get a bit of an idea for arrangement.
Yeah,
I'd look at their records and see what they've done over a club version.
Then you can kind of build intros and breakdowns.
Totally. And there's nothing wrong with pitching an idea of an arrangement off someone. Trust me, it's not. It's not a bad thing in the house world. Everyone does it. And whilst you're learning, you'll learn a lot from that.
Yeah.
You can start to almost build your own templates as well.
Exactly.
Okay.
5 to 4, Peter. We're gonna have to,
right. Let's see what else we got here.
What's the chat saying?
It's the Jack in Rave. I love the fact that Loz and Cookson have both realised that they've got very similar press shots on their YouTube profiles, but they're opposites. It's literally like, it is literally like we've got Cookson that's got half red, half blue, and Loz, but the other way around. I like it.
Maybe they should do a
collab. I think you guys
bro.
need to do a collab.
You got your artwork sorted.
Wicked press shots, by the way, guys. they're really, really cool. I love that. You got a similar creative Loz on.
Oh, nice.
There's the name
There you
right
go.
there. We might just set this up.
There you go. We get first dibs on the tunes, though, all right?
Andrea Guido's saying, while they're looking at each other in the mirror. That's how they see each other. Has anyone ever seen Loz and Cookson in a room together?
Dum, dum, dum.
I mean, fair play if you're controlling 2 YouTube accounts to talk to each
Having
other.
a conversation
right
with yourself.
That's next level. That is.
I
That's
mean,
next level.
You might want to have a word with yourself if you are.
I love this. That's really interesting. See, Loz was speaking to Mr. Jam on a stream and said Mr. Jam often builds his radio edit first, then the club edit from that.
Right.
I can get that. I think that could work, but as long as the club edit works, I suppose.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the edits that we receive, I feel like they haven't done that. They haven't worked out a club version, or perhaps they've just not got their club version right, because that's why their edit feels right. But that is really interesting. Yeah, boggles the mind for me, Loz, but each to their own. That's cool to know that Mr. Jam does it that way. You know, every artist is totally different.
Yeah, whatever works for you. Right?
Totally different. And I suppose for him as well, doing radio, he might think of it in that concept of how it works on the radio, then craft it from there into how he'd make that work into his DJ sets.
Yeah, that would make sense, wouldn't it?
It would make sense. Really, really interesting that, to hear how other people work. Big shout out to them, one like Mr. Jam as
Big
well.
up, man, like Mr. Jam.
Legend. Can't butter me toast. The 2 steps strong with this one. You guys are wicked. Love it. Love it. Everyone's feeling the rave in this one, though. Love it. Right, guys. What else we got in here? What else have we got in here? It's getting hot in here as well.
It is. Very
It's
much
getting
so.
ridiculously hot. Right. Yeah, I've got the riff stuck in my head from that song, though, I must say. Well,
there you go, that's a good sign.
I think it was that. Or am I singing
Not singing
Mario
Mario
Kart
again,
Rainbow Road again, am I? Oh, dear. Right, next up is Dean Brereton with Music, Rhythm, Flow. Hope you're well, Dean. Oh, I didn't fake. Yes, Dean.
A little wobbly number.
Dean, when
Love
that
that.
acid line came in, I was like, come on, let's
Tweak it,
go.
son, tweak
let's
it.
go. There is a really nice idea here. The groove is really cool. The bass line.
Bassline's rough.
Bass
Really
line's
cool.
rough. The way the drums just bump along. I like the vocal. I like the acid line. Without trying to sound like condescending, what this needs now is producing.
Production.
This really just needs that next level of producing. And I'll be honest with you, it's like half the battle is the idea, is coming up with the idea, of course. Get the
Yep.
good hooks, the vocals, the bass lines. just as much of a battle of making a good record is then how you finish it, the production, the automation, the effects, how you tell stories, little sounds here and there, resampling, filtering. Honestly, there's so much filtering you can do in a record.
Yeah.
Subtle filtering, all sorts, like your build-ups, your drums should all be filtering down as we're heading towards the drop. Vocals and other sounds should be getting bits of reverb and delaying the build-ups, right?
Yeah. Just to build a bit of tension, a bit of interest, and I just say the foundation and the core of the track is great. All your drums and your bass and stuff's rocking, really cool. Vocals cool, arrangement works, but yeah, just more detail, another sort of 15-20%, little builds, drop a kick, reverb something, bring it back, bring in the ride. Just keep telling that story and just developing it, I think. But it's a really cool idea though.
Definitely, it is a really cool idea.
Love that bass
like
line.
Listen to your favourite music, but listen to it in a weird way, right? Listen to the track and try and switch off from the groove, the story, the vocals, and just listen out for when like little double claps are, when
or
a kick goes
out, or
when something sort of filters away, and reverb building up. What you're relying on is the classic like build-ups, just that, and then when we drop, those sorts of ups and downs. You know, we need a bit more than that automation stuff. I will say that it happens quite a lot. Too many people use the wrong sort of effects. I'll just play it here. Notice on this drop what I grew up on. That. See how my hand and my head went, like energy wise. Yeah, we're going down. You're dropping. Those sorts of effects, have them when you come into breaks. Drops need to be more harsher, shorter
blast,
more impactful. Yeah. Small thing there, but honestly, Dean,
just a bit of detail in that, Dean, and you got a really good track on your hands there.
Definitely, the idea is really solid. Just keep pushing it, really finesse it. Keep having sessions. When you've sort of done with that creativity, park it, leave it. Could be a week, come back to it, then just think, what can I tweak again? Sometimes a way to do it is look at it almost channel by channel, or like groups. You could go, right, if I've got my drums grouped at this stage with full arrangement, what can I do? How can I work those drums across the track? Where could they filter? Low pass. Where could they high pass? Where could they the hats have a bit of delay, bit of reverb? Then the next channel down, vocals. What can I do to affect them, to bring them in, to take them out? Little hits, resample, and almost go channel by channel.
Yep.
And work on it like that, couldn't you?
Yeah, 100%.
Nice
shout.
Nice. Love that. Well, guys, that is all we've got time for today.
Flown by today.
Well, it has flown by, guys. We're sticking to our hour strict schedule today.
And we're also sticking to the chairs.
Very warm in here again. It really is. But it's been wicked. It's been good fun.
Yeah, always, Peter. Always good fun with you.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, man.
You're very welcome. Well done, everyone. Thanks for submitting your tunes.
Yeah, top work,
keep
guys.
Keep coming in as well over the next coming weeks.
Yeah, definitely. Look, keep submitting. If you joined us, your track didn't get played, don't be disheartened, all right? Lots of people submitting tracks. We're trying to get through them as much as we can. We're trying to make sure we don't play people that have been played recently again and again, and keeping an eye on things like that, all right? But don't give up. And anyway, if your track's not played, you can actually learn a lot just from hearing feedback and other people's music.
It's still worth tuning in, 100%.
100%. And we've got a little family going here. I love it. Nice little community here within the academy, on the YouTube channel, he says, as he tries to load it up, and my phone just completely crashes and goes, no. Anyway, honestly, guys, great to see some of you here back again. It's been good fun chatting to you. Thank you so much for sending in the music, all right? Keep an eye on the Tournament Academy socials when we're going to be doing the next one, when we're calling out for more demos, and we will see you back here next time, all right? Nice one, gang.
See you later.
See you later.
Bye.
That was cool.